A common mistake I see people making in divorce is listening to the person that they're about to divorce and taking that person's word as gospel. Just know that both of you are in fear during your divorce and they're likely trying to bait you. So don't listen to everything they say, or certainly don't react to everything they say. Get good advice. I'm on the internet a lot and I see people asking for advice on Facebook and taking advice from people who are not lawyers. It's great to get other people's opinions about your situation, but a lot of times you're doing that just to make yourself feel better. It's not good advice. It's not good legal advice. Make sure that you are talking to a lawyer and not taking your advice from the internet. Facebook is not a great resource for divorce education. You may be talking to people that are from other states, or they may be in your state, but maybe their situation was totally different than yours. Everyone's situation is different, and the answers that you get on the internet are often from people who don't know. They may have been told something one way and they may not have the full picture, but it's not a great source of information for you. When going through a divorce, a lot of people make this common mistake. They bring their kids into it. They start talking to the kids about how their other spouse is a bad spouse. You know, that person doesn't listen. They don't do what I do for you. And they bring the kids into it and make the kids feel bad about themselves and about their other parent. That's a huge mistake. Courts hate to see that. If you are trying to bring your kids into the divorce and make them pick sides, it's going to backfire on you. People make a lot of mistakes in divorce in choosing their lawyer. They may pick the person with the lowest retainer value because they think, well, this is all I can afford. But if you're picking a lawyer with a low bar to entry, there might be a reason for that. That person may need the money. They may not be the best lawyer for you. And you want to make sure that you have picked the right lawyer for you, the lawyer that knows the judge, that knows the community, and is well educated in what they do. So you may pick a lawyer based on the value of their retainer. Maybe one lawyer charges $3,500 for a retainer and another charges $5,000 and the next one charges $10,000. You need to understand what that lawyer bills, how they bill, and what their process is. Just because a lawyer has a low retainer doesn't mean that you're not going to pay the same amount for your divorce in the long run. In fact, sometimes the lower retainers, you may end up paying more. So you need to ask a lot of questions. How much is your retainer? Is it refundable? How much is your billable hour rate? And how much time is it going to take me to get divorced? How much am I going to spend in the long run? Another question that people don't ask is, what about your support team? Do you have a support team? If your lawyer is the only person in the office, you're paying that lawyer their hourly billable rate to type up documents, to file your pleadings with the court. That can be done by a paralegal in an office that has a good support staff. So you're going to pay less in the long run by working with a lawyer that has a good team around them that can charge you less for the things that don't require a law license. Another mistake that people make while going through a divorce is posting about everything in their life on Facebook. That is a recipe for disaster. Did you know that the other lawyer can subpoena your Facebook records and take pictures of everything that is on your Facebook page? All of the pictures you post, if you're out drinking with girlfriends, if you're posting nasty messages about your ex-spouse, all of that could come into court and be very detrimental to your case. Another mistake that people make during divorce is to use the divorce as a way to get back at their spouse. A lot of times you're very angry going through divorce. Maybe your spouse has done some bad things to you, or has cheated and you are angry. There's validity to that anger. However, if you take that anger and use it against your spouse during the divorce process, it's going to make it a longer process. You're going to spend more money. And honestly, you're not going to be able to move on. The quicker you can move on and have the life that you want to have, the better off you are. That's the best revenge. So a lot of people think that they can do their divorce themselves. And you can, but there's a lot of things that you could miss. And that piece of paper is a final legal document when it's signed off on by a judge. So if you left anything out, if you didn't know that you were entitled to child support, if you didn't know that you were entitled to some portion of your spouse's retirement, you are leaving assets on the table. You are leaving some of the rights that you have with regarding your children, and you don't know what you don't know. So definitely doing it yourself is a possibility, but a very risky one. So if you've done your divorce yourself and say you missed something, often we see that someone forgot to divide a retirement account. And your spouse may have been working for 20 years and there could be $500,000 in that retirement account. You've just left out $250,000 that you were entitled to receive. Was it worth not hiring a lawyer for $20,000 to handle your divorce and handling it yourself? If you want to make sure that you don't make mistakes in your divorce, call DeFord Law Firm.